Good morning, 819S. Starting to heat back up a little. Not too bad though. I didn't check the temperature this morning because I didn't really have any time. But I think it's going to be in the low 30s again today. So I want to talk about a funny encounter I had with the police the other day. This is it's not really funny, but it's kind of funny in retrospect. I was riding home from work. It was late at night, a little later than I would usually come home. Let's say around midnight. I was going down the normal route that I take home. There's about 2 or 3 different ways I take, so it wasn't like I was driving in an unfamiliar and unusual place. And since I was a little tired, I was definitely kind of on autopilot. I was paying attention and riding safely, but I also wasn't thinking so clearly about all the things I'm doing when I'm riding. And I came up to a light. There's 2 lanes, and I wanted to turn right. And if it's 3 lanes, you need to do the 2-step turn, but if it's 2 lanes, you can turn directly. And I'm sitting at the light for a second, and then I see something moving in my rear view mirror, or my side mirror, just a little bit. And I was like, what? And then I looked back, and there was a police officer on a scooter behind me. And then there was another police officer on a scooter behind him. Not on a shooter bike, but just on a regular scooter. And I was racking my brain going, when did they get behind me? Was it after I stopped at the light? Were they following behind me for a while? I have no idea. And I don't know what he was saying. I had music playing on my intercom, so I heard that he was speaking to me, but I didn't hear exactly what he was saying. So I scrolled down the volume on the intercom, and I turned around, and of course all in Japanese. I said, "Oh, is everything okay?" And he kind of squinted and looked at my face and went, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it." And I was like, what? What happened? And he's like, "Oh, no, okay. And then he pointed up at the light and said, "Yeah, it's green now. You can go." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I'll go." And then I went through the light, and at the next traffic signal, we stopped again, and I turned around to look at him, to ask him, what, did I make a mistake or something? Is everything okay? And he was also turned around talking to his coworker on the other bike. And I don't know exactly what they were talking about, but I definitely heard him talking about Shohei Ohtani, the baseball player. I was like, okay, I think these guys are just chatting while they're patrolling the neighborhood. And then light turned green, we went again, and then one more light, we ended up stopping again, and I turned around and looked at him again because I didn't want to get pulled over later down the road. I'd rather just get it over with if there's an actual problem. And he rolled up close to me, and he was like, "Are you coming home from work now?" And I was like, yeah. He said, "What do you do?" I told him what I did. He's like, "Isn't it late for a job like that?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I had some paperwork and stuff. It's just a busy day." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, just get home safely." And then him and the other police officer, why don't you pull into the lane without looking? Him and the other police officer turned right, and I kept going straight. And we never met again that night. So, I was a little bit confused. I don't know if I had actually made any mistakes or if there were any actual traffic violations, but they didn't pull me over, so I was really, really happy and grateful for that. But I am still a little confused. I don't think that it's my bike. I think, my bike's not really loud. This bike here, the muffler is all factory or stock. Everything's kind of normal. Could have been my clothes. I do wear colorful camouflage. Maybe he thought I was some kind of strange kid riding around at night. But honestly, I have no idea what he wanted to talk to me about. Yeah, that's it. So, the question that was asked before, do police pull you over just because you're a foreigner? I'm going to actually go ahead and say the exact opposite in this encounter. My impression that I got is he wanted to say something to me about the way I was riding. Then he saw that I was a foreigner, and he said, "Oh, no, it's all right." So I think honestly, I wasn't riding close to the edge of the road or the side of the road. I was riding like I am now in the lane, which is typically how Genskis are not supposed to ride. I may have also been speeding, but I think he didn't have the equipment or something to verify or confirm my speed. So he couldn't give me a ticket for it because he couldn't confirm an actual number. Those are just big guesses that I have, but I'm not sure. And then after I turned around the corner and he was following me, I was riding exactly the speed limit, not going even 1 kilometer over, because I thought that it might have been speeding. And then last night when I was going home, there was another guy on a inline 4 bike, probably 400cc, really loud muffler. The reason I know he was coming by is I was driving like I am now, like right on the edge, not right on the edge, but out of the main lane. And then I heard a bike screaming behind me. So I pulled over a little bit so that whatever was coming could, oh boy, whatever was coming could get around. And I was doing 35 to 40. He must have been doing 80 or 90. He just ripped by me. And we ended up both stopping at the light together, and I was checking out his bike. It was cool. I don't know exactly what it was. Maybe CBR 400, like a Super 4. His license plate was hidden. He had kind of different taillight and different blinkers and stuff like that. It was all kind of low profile and hidden and sleek. And then he noticed me looking at him, and I gave him a thumbs up. And then when the light turned, he took off. Then he pulled in the clutch and then rev bombed and then took off again and looked back at me and gave me a thumbs up again. It was cool. And again, he's screaming down the road, so I just watched him disappear into the distance. Then he got stopped at another red light, and he got stopped at another red light, and I didn't quite catch up with him, but he turned off, and then as he turned, he blipped the throttle a few times, and then gave me a peace sign, and I drove away, and he turned. Yeah, funny encounter. That guy seemed nice. I almost feel like he wanted me to pull over and chat with him for a second, but I had to go home. It was really late again, so. And on this thing, I think, yeah, we're in a different category of bikes for sure. He's screaming down the road at 80 kilometers an hour. I can barely get up to 60 if I really, really need to. It's not the same. Yeah, hopefully those are some interesting stories. Definitely be kind and be nice out there. The police are not always going to pull you over, especially because you're a foreigner. But, you know, there are cops who might, so always be careful. But that's it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ride safe.